You have to follow the threads of stories, because if not, you're going to be focused on talking about Greenland while he is trying to get the personal data of Americans, put them on the cloud, sell it to China.
Wait, what? Trump's selling personal information to the country that he's in the biggest trade war with? I mean, that sounds like leftist crazy talk. It's like putting cheese on a burger before you flip it on the grill. It's stupid and makes no sense at all.
That's what's happening behind the scenes while he's talking about Greenland and the Gulf of America.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. The second Trump administration reached its first 100 days, and the leftist media doesn't want to talk about any of the successes. Instead, the left wants to concoct some pretty insane conspiracies, like Trump selling intel to China, and about Trump's desire to encourage families and increase the birth rate in America being about white supremacy.
Why are they doing this, Catherine? That doesn't make sense. Like, why?
Well, there is this weird culty pro-natalist community that wants to marry, encouraging more women, specifically more white women, to have babies and also downplay their career ambitions and various other things. So there's like some other patriarchal white supremacist stuff mixed into all of this.
Actually, there's not, but now the leftist media feels they need to actually run stories promoting childlessness.
When Tiana's friends began having kids, she started organizing occasional get-togethers for others who want to be child-free.
It just seems like every time you turn on the news, something bad's happening, and it's just not the world I want to raise a kid in.
The leftist media once again blurring the lines between journalism and activism, much like they blur the images of arrested illegal aliens.
So I would encourage, I recognize live shots are tough, but I would encourage folks to actually make sure that those shots are blurred to the best of your abilities.
And the other leftists, they listened.
White House North Lawn with dozens of yard signs featuring photos of people that the Trump administration claims are in the country illegally, each poster saying arrested and listing the alleged offensive with which they have been charged.
So it is a fact that these people have been arrested and charged with crimes.
We know
Well
better.
said. Well said. And again, the focus here, doing the work, doing it well. As journalists, it's never been more important.
Oh yeah, the media know better. Doing the work of journalists, protecting the innocent, just like they did with a bunch of high school students that wore MAGA hats a couple years back.
And you wrote a very powerful piece today, Jonathan, with the headline, "Nothing justifies what the Covington students did."
Standing, smiling, you know, that kind of stuff is unforgivable if you have a MAGA hat on. But the media do love to defend illegal aliens, criminals with the last name of Biden, and judges that help suspects evade authorities.
I want to go to the reporting. I do just because this moment has now come, I have to start with you. The FBI arresting judges and the director of the FBI tweeting about it. That's how I first saw it.
So there has been a violation here that we know for sure, and it is not the judge.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah. Why would we doubt the leftist media? They're always so straightforward with us, especially when talking about their past actions.
So yes, when I watched Joe Biden, the eye test made me think, as I watched him, man, he has really slowed down. And I'm not sure he should run for a second term. It did not make me think, man, he definitely, something is really wrong with him, and I'm going to cover it up so that he can win. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, except that, Chris, you and your friends in the media did cover it up with articles like this one that you wrote. But hey, you know, it's not like you come across as a deceitful elitist.
But doing it the way we're doing, I think, just only makes it easy to weaponize sort of elitism against the press, which is something we ought to fight against, because most people in the press are not elites at all.
Of course not. That's why instead of just reporting facts, the media tells us what they think about Trump's first 100 days.
I think what I'm gleaning from it is that he is trying to take and consolidate the power of all three branches into the executive branch.
No, wrong. That's actually a crazy conspiracy theory. But this is the view, or the only viewpoint you actually get is theirs. They don't have room for opposing views, which is true of the leftist media on the whole. When pollster Frank Lutz actually invited American voters on with him looking to slam Trump on tariffs, he was shocked that people aren't buying into the leftist media narrative.
I need to ask you an issue that no one's brought up and that has crashed your 401ks, most of you, which are tariffs. Stock market is way down.
It needed a correction.
Oh, so you support it?
Yes. You bet.
Yep.
How many?
And I have to tell you,
how many?
My 401k wasn't impacted at all.
First off, how many of you did not lose any money over the crash of the stock market? One individual, two people. So, Serena,
the Biden administration, I lost more money than the Trump administration, by far.
In 2020,
like
in 2022, they crashed it by
40%
25%. Yeah, for the whole year.
No one's upset over this?
No.
Nope.
No.
Oh, come on. Somebody please be upset. You're supposed to believe the leftist media.
They're desperate to try to make the media look like they're part of the opposition with the Democratic Party.
Yeah, trust me, Chuck. The media makes it look that way. And that's more factual than any mainstream media take on Trump's first 100 days.
Donald Trump campaigned on the notion of making America great again. We've seen him tear down much of what has made America great to this point.
Good old taxpayer-funded PBS, and this was the homepage of NPR Thursday morning, because PBS and NPR are funded by all of America's taxpayers, so they surely would reflect the viewpoints of all of the people. Of course they don't. But on Friday, they woke up to this good news. President Donald Trump signing an executive order to cut taxpayer funds to PBS and NPR. I'm sure they won't let the truth of their history of bias get in the way of how they cover this news event.
In fact, I think our reverence for the truth might have become a bit of a distraction that is preventing us from finding consensus and getting important things done.
Please, let's get the defunding of public broadcasting done, can we? I'm Eric Shiner asking you to help out that effort. Check out the MRC homepage, click on that donate button, visit MRCTV.org for all of the latest in videos, news, and entertainment, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these videos. We'll be back soon with another look at leftist media madness.